Kia tau ainga mana ki tanga te wāhinga rokirunga ki tēnā o mātou, kia mahea ko te hua mā kihiki, kia toi tū te kupu, kia toi tū te mana, kia toi tū te reo Māori, tuturu whakamaua kia tīna.
Tīna.
Haumi e hui e.
Tai ki.
Mōrere te whānau, welcome back on into Hui Time with, wow, it's just reha i te rangi nei, but I've got a special guest joining us for te wiki o te reo Māori. So today it's going to be Hui Time with R&H. But we'll get into our whanaunga very shortly. Welcome on back to our podcast episode. I forgot count te whānau, I think number 4. So welcome back on into our podcast. Hopefully you fellas enjoy it today. For episode 1 of Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori, as I mentioned, our Manuwhiri joins us. But I'll let him explain ko ai ia, no hia ia, and what he does here at Ngā FM. My bro, kia ora.
Kia ora whānau, it is Haki from the Jack of All Trades show. Whānau, this is a bit different. Normally I'm doing my show right about this time, and I'm doing this weird stance because too tall for the camera. Straight up. But no, I've been wanting to get on this podcast for a while.
I know you have.
Yeah, and they always shut the door on me, whānau, and I just have to go back to my studio and do my show.
Well, we know you're a man of many talents te hoa, so today we brought you in to talk about your Te Reo Māori journey as we celebrate Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori i tēnei o ngā wiki. And I know this year it's been part of your, what is it, your goals, your vision plan, your strategic plan is to upskill i roto i Te Reo Māori, but not just Reo Māori o te rā tikanga, mahi marae. It's not cleaning the marae though, whānau. You ain't doing sheets in there. We've had a challenge. You can't do sheets.
Whānau. Look, I'll clean dishes. I'll do tables. I'll do whatever you want as long as it's not folding sheets.
I lived with you for 3 weeks. You only did dishes once. Here we are, no. We're going to get back into our kaupapa kōrero, our kaupapa wānanga, which is Te Reo Māori e hoa. And tell the whānau, you know, what's your journey been like with Te Reo Māori? First year learner?
Oh, bro, I think I'm about 6 months. Sorry, whānau, still a bit Manuwhiri from the weekend. But, it's been about 6 months since I've started. I fully took the dive, I think just before I started here. Because I've been looking at getting my matora, and my goal was 3 years. Like go for 2027 when I turned 25, and I was happy with that, 3 years to learn my reo, learn my culture, everything. And then it was my mum that came to me, and she said she wanted to get her moko kauai. And I was like, oh, that's beautiful, because my mum, she's that old school generation of, kind of ashamed to be Māori a little bit. But she finally took the dive, and I said, oh, you can get it with me, 3 years. And she looks at me, whānau, and she goes, I'm not waiting that long, boy. Next year. I was like, oh, okay. And she asked me if I can get my matora with her.
Oh, that's awesome, bro.
It's beautiful, but then it kind of dawned on me that I'm going to have to just go hard for about a year and 6 months. So I've just been hitting it hard. I had a kaioko, but I'm in Te Waihuriata from HPC, Hariki Plains. But
AKA Josh.
AKA Josh whānau. He changed his name a little bit, and I was like, oh, bro.
Well, you changed your name to Haki.
Well, that's different. It's like just my name.
It's the same thing, your journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I got given a new name at the Kurunana, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But no, it's been mean. The hardest one, whānau, Atalena karakia was like my first. He wanted to test like my commitment.
What was the challenge of learning a karakia, ihoa?
Is the memorizing it and
the
like
lines.
The lines. So whānau, I done old school. Got all these bits of paper off. And I printed them. I was in my room after he left, and it looked like I was doing whai kōrero pretty much. I was like going back and forth. Oh, it was mean though. My dog was looking at me like I was crazy.
What's a nerve-wracking part about learning reo, or like a basic sentence structure? Are you scared of learning karakia waiata?
Nah, I'm not scared of learning it. The thing that daunts me the most is going to kaupapa with fluent and really well-versed reo speakers. Like Mato Devon, who's our producer at the moment, like watching him is just mean. But going into like Koronehana where those whai kōrero, bro, it was mean to watch, but then I'm thinking, oh, it's like
what do you feel when you hear whai kōrero?
Oh,
when you hear people do like rāhui papa, praone gloin and all that do whai kōrero, what's the feeling like within yourself that makes you want to get up and learn Te Reo Māori?
It's like they're setting a fire in your belly kind of thing. And it just like, after Koronehana, I just went home and I just hit it hard and I was like, I'm loving this. But it was like pride mixed with intimidation. Like seeing like the likes of Rahui or Praone like do whai kōrero, it's like they've been doing it for years. Or even Korohere, like watching him, it's like prideful, but it's also that little bit intimidating. It's like, because they're just so confident with it. That's why I like Uncle Wati. He just, he brings koro with him so you don't have to do it.
It's not koro, it's me.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to be like the Uncle Wati.
Oh, that's a good one. And what are some of the things you've learnt over the year in terms of how to get to that space of being on a pai? What has your kaiako taught you?
The biggest thing he's taught me is when we're going through the pepeha and all that, he said, we're going over like ko moiho te maunga. He said, you notice how ko normally you use for talking about a person? And I was like, yeah. So we talked about it, and he said, you need to get into the Māori way of thinking where like your waka is a person, your maunga is a person, it's your tupuna.
Yeah.
So that whole getting into that Māori way of thinking with the sentence structures, like now I try and do it as much as I can. Like try and switch it back and think. I'm starting to get there. It's just the sentence structures that are kind of bugging me. But I think I'm kind of starting to slowly understand it. It's starting to hit me now. And I was driving to Devon's last night, and I was just thinking, I had Dan in the car, and I'm like making sentences in my head. I'm like, does that even make sense? And then I'm just going to go to one of my uncles who speaks, and I'm going to ask him. Or I come to you, or I go to Devon. But that's what I like about learning, is that I have all yous here to like fact check me. That's why I love TY as a teacher, because he won't like BS me around. He'll just tell me straight off the bat if I'm wrong. Because I don't want a teacher that's going to like sugarcoat it. Oh, you're all good, boy. Just, nah, I don't want that. I want you're wrong.
Before getting into learning your reo, what was one thing you heard about or thought about, from whānau that will be a challenge or was scary or, that type of thing? Did you hear any kōrero around that before you got into it?
I've heard a lot of love around it. That's what it was really a warm language to go into. I think we have a really warm culture that welcomes anyone. The only thing, because when I was in high school in year 9 or 10, I went to Rosehill College up in Tamaki, and I remember I wanted to take reo Māori, but they told me that you're too white to speak Māori. Like that's the kind of racism that I saw, not as much as like the normal, but the one that I saw was you're too white to take te reo Māori. So they put me in French.
Oui.
I flirted with my French teacher to try and get kicked out.
You flirted?
It was me and two Samoan boys.
Our French teacher wasn't that hot, so no.
Oh, fine. The Rosehill one was pretty beautiful waihingi, beautiful, And
He puti.
yeah, because we didn't want to be in that class, so we'd try.
Or was she a puha?
But nah, she was a kumara, I reckon. Like a bit hard, but So
Kamo.
Yeah.
She's a kamo.
We'd take our papers up, and the Samoan boys would be like, "Oh, miss," like all three of us were like, "Miss, we need a bit more tutoring. Can we come round to your house after school?" You just have and they got kicked out, but I never got kicked out. And I was still trying to pull the moves. And I don't know if she liked me. I don't know.
So what does this have to do with your reo? That's
trying
French.
to get into their Māori.
Okay.
They saw my skin colour. And because it was like a different kind of racism. They saw that.
So they chucked you in French?
They chucked me in French out of everything. And I couldn't stand French.
I love French.
It's beautiful language, but I wanted to take reo Māori. So like after that, it kind of just put me off.
So did you do any reo Māori learning at kura?
Nah.
No reo Māori classes, do maki reo?
Nah.
Oh, wow.
I done kapaka in primary school.
Oh, yeah.
That was the last time I done it. But then after that incident at Rosehill, it kind of just put me off. I'm very thankful that when the reo teacher at Rosehill found out, she had to go at my French teacher and the principal. They're like, how do you, blah, blah, blah. It's not about skin color, it's about blood. But it still kind of put me off, and it gave me that like stigma around I am too white to be Māori, so I kind of just went with it. And then like coming into this space now, and whānau, the thing is, at Koroneana, I saw a lot of whānau like me, like the really fair-skinned ones, with matora, and they were kōrero and
from
hard.
Ngaitahi.
Yeah.
Kaitahi.
Yeah, I always tell my mum, I'm like, I don't know if I'm Ngāti Maru, I reckon I'm Kaitahu. She goes, why? I was like, I mean, look at me, like, pale ass.
Oh, no, they're skinny down there.
Yeah, they are. They are, right?
They are.
And then there's the Ngāti Maru whānau. We just like to eat. But no, it's been mean learning about, like, especially my taipiri side. All the history around that, like our tupuna wiripi and all that. And talking to Uncle Ture, because he has a well of knowledge.
Well, as we know, your whānau, the taipiri whānau, pretty, he whānau rangatira tēnā o Ngāti Maru, ko ngā kaimanaki o te iwi, o tira o te kauairanga. They are the guardians of teams of Ngāti Maru. So for you, learning like some of your whānau whakapapa, because that is a big part of learning your reo, learning your history. What are some of the things you've picked up learning some of the whakapapa, like the connections, the hononga?
Taiparis, we're
Yous are everywhere.
we're a special whānau. We have whānau
Yeah.
up north, but I found out that was my main question: was how do we get whānau up north? And my great uncle told me when Whittipi took the slaves back, not really slaves, but when we got them from Ngāpuhi, when he took them back up, they didn't have anything to give for koha as thank you, so they took our name. So there's a wealth of taiparis up north that are like whangairan. But the one thing I've learned is that we're really disconnected whānau. And we
I was just going to ask, so, as a whānau, as the taipari whānau, do you fellas come together and have like wānanga reo, wānanga whakapapa?
Nah, it's real. It's super. We had 2 hui around land, and it was the first time. And one of my uncles goes, "I haven't seen any of you since you were like babies, and now you're in your 30s." Like I think the last hui we had before last year was about 20-something years ago.
Oh, wow.
So it's
Wow.
and then you look at like the white, like your whānau, Te Mononuis, the Wikis. You're all really
Well, the probably
close.
only time we come together, I think the last time our whānau, outside of the Wātini whānau, had a reunion was, I don't know, before I was born.
Oh wow.
But the other Wātini whānau had one last year.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing for me is I want to bring our taipari whānau back together because there's so much. Like we are rangatira around Thames and all around pretty much Coromandel a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'd love to bring them back in because a lot of them don't kōrero Māori. I think there's 2 sides to taiparis. There's like Auntie Kaz and they're like the real into it. And then you have like my side and it was more went to Tāmaki to work.
Do the mahi.
Do like the mahi and it was more the brought up in the culture of reo,
Blue
not
collar.
gonna-
That's what it is, the blue collar.
Blue collar, don't worry about the language, it's not going to get you anywhere. So they kind of just gave up on it. And that was my mum for ages. She was told and even I was told a little bit in school, Māori won't get you anywhere. But now that I'm in it, I think we have one of the most like prosperous cultures.
Yeah.
Like, we're loved overseas. Like, we're
Well,
loved.
that's with everything, though. You take our culture overseas, oh man, it's like number 1.
Yeah.
Bring it back home, bro, we're number 100.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're told that it's not going to get us anywhere. But I think it's such a profitable. I don't know how else to put it, but not profitable. But
You don't say that.
yeah, no, I'm trying to figure like. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
get what you mean, bro.
it's such an easy sell because people love te Māoridom. They love it. Like you go overseas, French people.
Yeah.
Like Uncle Apanu told me he was in Japan, and one of the bosses of this big restaurant there and asked him, "If you do the haka, we'll give you the meal for free." And I was like, "Yeah." So we're loved overseas. But that was my biggest thing coming into it was the whole stigma around Māoridom.
Yeah.
Was how is it not portrayed, but how is it taken by the public? Because there's a lot of, not hate, but a lot of misconceptions around te ao Māori.
Yeah.
Like even when I was going for my matora, I me and my mum grew up in the world where it was the idea that you had to know your reo, you had to be this high up in the iwi kind of thing to even think about getting it. And it wasn't until I went to Keanu Manuel to get my hand done. And he asked me about getting my matora, and I was like, "Oh, bro, I don't know if I can." And he looked at me and he goes, "What do you mean? What do you mean you don't know if you can?" And I was like, "Oh, don't you need all this stuff?" And he goes, "Bro, if in your heart you think you're ready, that's all you need." And then when I talked to Uncle Apanu, he reckons it's a promise. So like he got his to keep him going. So I like that idea because if I start learning my reo and I get this matora, if I start, wavering and not doing it, I got to wake up every day, look in the mirror and I have it. It's like, bro, you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
So that was my whole journey. Tāmaki was really, there weren't a lot of kura. It was just schools, primary schools. And then coming down to, I feel like if I grew up in Waikato, I would have gone to a kura.
You would have, bro. I reckon you would have went to like a Bernard Ferguson. You would have went to like not a total immersion school. You would have went to like a bilingual.
Yeah.
I reckon you would have. You would have been mean.
I know, and it makes me a little bit frustrated, like that I didn't do it, and like when I have,
You would have been called Haki Taipiri, bro.
I would have. Fun. This is like the whole thing, and it kind of frustrates me a little bit. And I know it's not my parents' fault, and it's not Tāmaki. Oh, it is a little bit, but like not Tāmaki's fault. But I don't know. I just get a bit frustrated when I look back and it's like I just went to a normal primary school and we didn't learn anything.
For our whānau out there that are similar to you, bro, on this real journey, on this, I was going to say whakamama journey, but it's whakapapa journey. Well, hey, you got a whakamama to get a whakapapa. Hey, we all know that one, whānau. But, what are some things you've learnt in your year that can be some words of encouragement, words of support for whānau that haven't even started, but are keen and eager but are just too whakamā, a bit too, shy, or a bit too nervous to just even go and see a real speaking friend or something like that?
It's about, I'd say the word of advice I'd give is, it took me about a good 2 years to get into it, because for a while I was intimidated, because even with White Tapera I was even a bit like standoffish, because I didn't know where to start. I think that's the whole thing for whānau out there, is you don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And my only piece of advice is just start with your whakapapa. Start with your whakapapa, start with your pepeha, start with your karakia, and then the rest will just come. And find someone you're really confident with. Like my mate Nikora Derby, his sisters. He's getting into it as well, so it's giving. And find a person to learn it with. Like,
Yes.
He's gonna start studying it soon as well, because it gives you. I remember TY said when he first learned it, him and his mate made a rule that if they ever talked, they had to kōrero Māori. Even if they didn't know it, they couldn't talk in kōrero Pākehā. They could only kōrero Māori. Wow. Yeah, so I'm trying to do that with my mate. But the biggest thing is just take the dive.
So hopefully next time we get you back on the podcast, we can have a conversation in te reo Māori. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Or because I'm doing this all for next year when we get my matora. Like, I want like kind of like a tohu, something to carry with me into getting it. Because then it'll just make me feel more easy about getting it. So yeah, whānau, just take that step, take the dive, and then just, if you have love for it, you got nothing to worry about.
Well, talking about love and you got nothing to worry about, well, hopefully you're not worried about this, because we're going to get into my favourite part of the podcast.
Oh no.
Wasn't it playing? Oh, there we go. It is our Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori quiz, e hoa.
Oh no.
Hey, I got to ask these questions this morning, so you better be ready for it, e hoa. If whānau means family, what is the Māori word for relative or cousin? Whaia keke, whanaunga, iramutu, or matua keke?
Whanaunga?
Are you locking it in?
Yep.
Correct.
Oh, whānau, I was a bit intimidated on that one.
Ka pai. If fire is female, what is the kupu for auntie? Whanaunga, iramutu, matua keke, or whaia keke?
Whaia keke.
Yeah, is it whaia keke or whaia keke?
Whaia keke.
Ka pai. Lucky you didn't say whaia keke.
Oh, whaia keke.
What about uncle? What's uncle then?
Mātua keke.
I was going to swear then. You are on, e hoa. I was going to say, no, it's papa keke. Okay, moving on. Niece and nephews. Oh, what happened to our song? Oh, there it is. Niece and nephews shared the same word, which is what? Whaia keke, whanaunga, matua keke, or iramutu, bro?
Iramutu.
Ka pai e hoa. If mahanga means twins, what is triplets? I learnt this morning. This was new.
If you didn't know it, then I'm...
Mahanga toko wha, mahanga toko ono, mahanga toko toru, mahanga toko rima.
Toru. Mahanga...
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Toru, toru ngā mea.
In my mind, I was counting. I was like, where is it?
Okay. This was a new word for me too.
Oh, no.
O wahine is sister-in-law, but under what criteria? Oh, here we go. Whakarongo mai. They were married under the moon of Takirau. The in-law is of the same gender. The in-law is of a different gender. They were born under the sign of Aquarius.
Oh, well, I am an Aquarius.
Pick one, Ewa. Pick one.
Same gender.
Same gender? Oh, you want to look that one up?
Mm-hmm. That didn't sound confident.
Nah, different gender.
Oh.
It's different gender, Ewa.
So what's same gender?
Well, that's your next question. Oh, no, it's not. If Otane is brother-in-law, Otane?
Yep. Oh, Tane.
Does the same criteria apply? So the same...
different gender.
Yeah. I don't know, because I think I got this wrong this morning, so don't ask me.
I feel like it's a trick question.
I or Kyle, it's yes or
I.
no? I?
I.
Okay. Bro, you got it right, yes.
Oh.
Auntie is a brother-in-law to a female. Oh, who cares?
Auntie's a
Moving on.
brother-in-law. Auntie.
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 Okay, moving on. So what is the kupu for same gender in the laws?
In the laws.
In laws.
In the laws.
O wahine, taukite, o tāne, or mahanga. I just bumped the camera. Sorry, whānau.
What was the second one?
Taukite.
Taukiti.
You're locking that one in?
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct there, huh? I learned that this morning too.
Oh, wow.
How about daughter or son-in-law?
Oh.
Hunga wai. Taukite. Can't be that one. Hunga unga. Or mahanga.
What was the third one?
Hunga unga.
Hunga onga. That one.
You locking that in?
Yeah.
Okay. I already know that's wrong, but okay.
Oh.
Oh no, it's right. I got it wrong this morning. Sorry, bro.
Whānau, another trick is I just fake it till you make it.
Okay, and last one. Here's your last one. A mother or father-in-law. Hunga wai. Taukite. Hunga unga. Or mahanga.
What was the first one?
Oh, bro.
I'm just
Hunga
keeping
wai.
it. Huh?
Hunga wai.
Unga wai.
Yeah.
That one.
Oh, you're correct, bro. You got 9 out of 10. What the?
Whānau, I'll be honest.
I only got 6 this morning.
It's just guesses.
Oh. Your guesses are sometimes wrong. Here we are annoying, what? You got anything else you want to add into the conversation before we do wrap up our podcast, I tēnei o ngā rangi?
Oh, whānau, just like for Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori, just when you're learning it, just if you have love for it, like I said before, you got nothing to worry about. And you know, you will have people out there that judge you a little bit. Some of our whānau out there are a little bit staunch on it, and I think just a bit like safeguarding.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's respectful. But I think we just got to encourage our whānau to learn it more instead of kind of trying to defend it.
Yeah.
More to just open it up. You know? Because I think we'll get more else. Like, you get more bees with honey than you do vinegar. You just, I think, and then making the language a little less intimidating, because it's not the language itself, it's some of the people that speak it. And like, I love their passion for it.
Yeah.
But it just comes to a point where you want people to learn it, but then you also want to defend it. So you got to pick one or the other. And I think you just got to encourage people to learn it.
Yeah.
And then make Māori, what do you call it? Make it, you have to take it in school. I can't remember the word. But like
Compulsory.
There we go. Make it compulsory.
You got to add it into the curriculum.
Yeah, add it in, like, fully. Because, you know.
Can't fire. Well, you know, we're going to leave it there on those conferences. Oh, you got something else?
Listen to the Jack of All Trades show 11 till 2 every day, Monday to Friday.
Weren't you going to plug something else as well?
Oh, fun. I have a podcast coming out this week. We're recording it tomorrow. Masters at None, me and Demetrius Te Hikorangi Taipiri.
Yeah.
The Taipiri boys are back. We're recording our first episode, so make sure you watch that.
Well, tēnei kamihia te kia koe te whanaunga Jack of all trades, Master of none. Is it the
Masters
same?
at None.
Masters at none. Koe nā tātou e te whānau. Hui time for another episode. Kia hau maru te haere, kia hau raki te haere, and you can catch up on everything Hui Time on Spotify, iHeart, Whare Kōrero, Ngā Iwi FM on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever else you get podcasts e te whānau. I don't know. Hui anō, join us next for the next podcast. Ka kite!
Ka kite!